My name is Teresa Lockwood. I reside in Vineland, New Jersey. I'm being harassed and bullied by Vineland Police continuously. They're playing games, excuse me. Um, and they're sitting there. First time I called today, I asked to speak to a supervisor. So they transferred me to the desk. I'm sorry, the desk is not the supervisor. Okay. So they're refusing to transfer me to the supervisor. The thing is, the supervisor, I already know are corrupt. Okay. So at least a number of them are. Not everyone that I spoke to was corrupt. They were deliberately promoted for basically abusing, harassing, and slandering me in records. And they're abusing me for reporting abuse, by the way. So the thing is that I have a right to make a complaint. All right. And the thing is, they keep committing crimes against me. And if I complain about it, they continue to commit crimes against me. All right. So I was just falsely accused of calling 911. I did not call 911 at all today. Not whatsoever. I called the main number and I asked to be transferred to the um, um, the supervisor, okay, did not ask to be transferred to anybody else. So there was except for after several times of attempting, and they transferred me to the front desk, who was basically hanging up on me and bullying me. I basically asked to speak to Ferrari. Went off on their voicemail, right? So it was pointless or whatever. I just wanted to sit there and basically, scream out my pain, suffering, and the crimes being committed against me, by the Vineland, New Jersey Police Department. So the thing is, the front desk, as they kept transferring, I said, stop transferring to the front desk. I said, they are my abusers. They're hanging up on me. Well, this is the first time. First time they let it ring and ring and ring. They have caller ID, so they let it ring, 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 ring. Wouldn't answer the phone, and then it stopped ringing, and it was just like, nothing. It was just nothing. Okay, that was like the first time. Okay, so they didn't even like hang up on me. Well, I don't know. I don't know what that was. So the thing is okay, calling back a number of times. Well, because they kept hanging up on me. I already know for a fact that Internal Affairs was put in Internal Affairs to for one, harass victims, not take complaints, and protect the officers. Do what they can to protect the officers. Now, if they were right, yes, they should do what they can to protect the officers. But that's not what they do. They cover up the crimes of the officers and they bury the victim. That's what they do. Okay? Call the victim the liar no matter what. Okay, so they have basically been vengeful on me for first reporting like officers like only 20 years ago. Okay, I left like one or two messages. I was not very familiar with Internal Affairs. It was called, Internal Affairs, and now they're calling themselves Professional Standards Unit. I have never gotten any professional or how do I say proper services. Okay, from them Internal Affairs ever, actually. They basically always every last one of them has mentally abused me, falsely accused me, even vilifying me and sitting there saying, oh, you must have done something after speaking against being abused. Okay? And then being abused by officers. The Vineland Police Department has used chaplains who committed hate crimes against me, by the way. They promoted them deliberately. Because I will actually expose them actually speaking against Christianity, by the way, and speaking brainwashing, false doctrines that were used to brainwash the public and basically strip the rights of the people, mentally, and basically pedophile tactic, false doctrines, of course, that are unbiblical, unchristian, and used to basically silence and vilify and refuse the rights of their victims, okay? And to make sure they are not heard, okay? Many people should be put on there. These doctrines are no judging, no criticizing, no gossiping, everything that they do falsely. Okay, so anyway, the thing is that yeah, I actually viewing the pages of my abuser police, by the way, seen their wives posting these pedophile false doctrines, falsely claiming to be Christian, which means they're not Christian. You can't be Christian and speak doctrines that are against Christ. Sorry, that's an objective truth. You can't sit there and claim, oh, you're Christian. If you speak against Christ's doctrines, that is against you. So it automatically eliminates you out as that against you of you not being Christian. Excuse me, I got an itch on. Excuse me. So, yeah, because I proved that fact, yeah, they're also getting their chaplain to sit there and claim that is dogma. No, please learn what an absolute truth is. I just explained it. So, the thing is that, they're persecuting me, by the way, for being religious. And because of that, they're basically falsely and making false, articles online and teaching these lies, and claiming that, oh, Greeks practice, religious prostitution. To sit there and try to compare it, to me being religious. First of all, it was never called religious prostitution. That is their lie, and they're doing this on purpose to cover up them persecuting me for my religion. A religion can only be that of laws of justice that is against all immorality and lawlessness. So, they're manipulating, playing all these games. This is mind rape. This is atheists in the Vineland, New Jersey Police Department committing hate crimes against me. Oh, yes, for speaking laws of justice against their crime. And speaking laws of justice against abuse, by the way. So, they're getting their false Christians, who are basically only anti-theist atheists, who has condemned me for being religious. And when they condemn me for being religious, they have condemned me for my intelligence, speaking the knowledge of God, okay, and interpreting the Bible. This is what they condemn me for, as being religious. That's exactly what they persecuted me for. Excuse me. So, the thing is, so they're lying to cover that up because I basically spoke against, excuse me, against them, committing hate crimes against me, persecuting me for my religion. Okay? So they're creating false articles, using old articles, by the way, and altering articles, or influencing people to alter their articles on certain issues. Okay? And basically, they have been condemning religion, well, throughout the country, and getting people to condemn religion while they're claiming falsely to be Christian, to cover up them committing hate crimes against me, persecuting me for my religion. Religion, like I said, can only be that of the laws of justice. So, yes, the Vineland Police and the false Christians, the Antichrist Christians, false Christians, are basically, attacking Christianity. Most of them who are doing this is the fraudulent Pentecostals. They're the ones who call themselves Pentecostals, but have no relation to what is in our Bible, by the way. So, which they pervert grossly. So, the thing is, they lie like, well, typical atheists committing hate crimes against, people are religious. Like I said, religion is objective morals, objective laws of justice, period. Okay? So, the thing is that, they're, how do I say this? They have been harassing me for 20 years. I have PTSD caused by the Vineland Police Department, not only my abuser and my rapist, which, mind you, they imprisoned me to my rapist. They are using forged, evil, false Bibles that I was exposing, the NIV, that was forged to attack Christianity, by the way. It is a damnable, blasphemous, ungodly, evil, false Bible. Okay? Now, Bible only means book, but we are referencing to that of translation of Gospels, the Old Testament scriptures, Torah, Tanakh, whatever. And the thing is that they have been persecuting me because of my wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of God that exposes all of them as evil. So they're persecuting me for their own actions, which is their mental disorder, by the way. So because I was speaking knowledge, by the way, and exposing them as teaching pedophile doctrines and against laws of justice, concrete knowledge that comes from God. Excuse me, I just got a stomach pain. I'm sorry. I don't know if my ulcers will come back. This is like the second time it happened again. I haven't had it for years. Sorry, but is that knowledge? Excuse me. Oh, now I got a nose itch. All right. Oh, where was I at? I'm sorry. All right. I'm gonna drink some water. Hold on a second. All right. So, all right, where was I at? Okay, so anyway, they're persecuting me. They actually were persecuting me for interpreting the Bible because I'm a theological genius. Morally correct, moral practice, morality. So they're saying, that doesn't mean I'm Christian. Okay, whatever. I'm not going to play games with you. They're falsely claiming that their ignorance and false knowledge is spiritual wisdom. That I actually am destroying their false wisdom, by the spiritual wisdom of God that is in me, putting to shame their false knowledge that is grotesquely evil. Okay, so the thing is, they said they're under grace and can continuously lie, slander, harass, and bully me, and claiming they're under grace and forgiven. This is what they're doing. They had played this before in the past when I basically reported the crimes of harassment and bullying by the Ramoth Church, formerly known as the Vineland First Church of Nazarene, harassing me, cyberbullying me online, and basically claiming, and police were sitting there like Officer Warrington, who sat there and said, well, aren't you supposed to forgive them? This is what they were doing. They're perverting the word forgiveness, by the way. They're claiming I'm not allowed to speak against the churches. Why? Because these police officers use the churches, and the churches are using them to cover up each other's evil. That's why. So they're just as evil as like a crackhead, meth, drug addict or whatever, prostitution or whatever, because I exposed them by the facts and spoke against the sex trafficking ring in the Vineland, New Jersey Police Department. They are trying to compare and make equal religion to prostitution. Religion is laws of justice, but this is what they're doing. They created false articles online to do this. They never use laws of justice and cannot use laws of justice rightly against me. And that committed a crime, never sat there and committed a crime. Okay, so the thing is that they're trying to make me out to be a criminal and a leftist or whatever because I exposed how actually the thing is I have leftist immoral degenerates attacking me, which is typically like the Democrats using the racist supremacists to attack white people, falsely accusing them of being racist to make an excuse to attack them because they're racist. Well, they're actually trying to make being a traumatized victim of domestic violence equal to being a drug addict and an LGBTQ FP whatever. FPRP whatever. LFBTURP. This is what they're doing. Because I spoke against them and sat there and saying, oh, well, that's a choice. Sexual immorality and basically drug abuse is a choice. Speaking against it, they basically harassed and bullied me online for me reporting domestic violence and then said, oh, happiness is a choice. This is what they did. That was Officer Pagan, by the way. She was another officer. She was actually kind when she was here. When there was a noise ordinance complaint that was an unbearable People having a big party, by the way, at a extremely loud rate, playing their so-called music. Um, so burying that it was like choking hazard with inside my residence, and this was basically not even inside this neighborhood. This is how loud it was. The whole neighborhood called, by the way. So they harassed me over it. I'm sure they sat there and got them to actually play it that loud or whatever deliberately, because this is what they have done to me in the past. They have actually told people to basically play their music loud or what have you, lying about me, getting people to abuse me, harass me, or whatever. So, I mean, it is really terribly disgusting. They're attacking me for being right. So, because I actually proved my case over and over and over to police, their responses are, "Oh, well, it doesn't matter if you're telling the truth and you're right." It doesn't matter. This is what they're doing. This is their delusional thinking, and they are so debased-minded. It is grotesque. It is just so foul, disgusting. They are immoral degenerates. They are mentally depraved, and it is grotesque what they are doing. These people basically covered up the kidnapping of my children. They've been terrorizing me ever since then. I have nobody to call. I never got law enforcement services. Some are being nice to me. Okay, some, maybe a few were innocent. The Vineland Police actually had over 50 police harass and bully me and terrorize me throughout the years. I was actually assaulted a number of times by police for being a victim of domestic violence. Okay, and, because I said persecute in the name of Jesus Christ, I was assaulted and maced in the face by police because I spoke against being harassed by the satanic cult, the fraudulent Pentecostals. So they're any Pentecostal, calling themselves Pentecostals, kind of like the false Christians, who are of the Antichrist, calling themselves Christians, or claiming they're of Christ. So, the thing is that I'm being attacked for my intelligence, for my knowledge, for my insight. Why? Because, well, they're evil and that they hide in darkness. Darkness of evil and darkness of ignorance, by the way. They are willfully ignorant. They deny knowledge. It is really gross and disgusting, what they're doing. They are terrorists. They are, they're not able to get away with basically rounding up bodies, starving them to death or whatever publicly, or basically, just going around killing whoever they want. Okay? But the thing is just because the bodies aren't there, does not mean the torture is not there or the evil is not there. They are basically terrorists. They pervert our Bible. They get their pedophile protecting chaplains, William Clay, Frank Appolito, Faith Bible Church, who are not of faith and are unbiblical, not of the Bible. They pervert it grossly. They even try to sit there and dictate over God and basically falsely claim that, basically speaking against me for being a woman. Tell me I'm not, use third parties in their church, tell me I'm not to speak or teach a man, even though they stole teachings from me, from Faith Bible Church. They basically persecuted me because I did not believe that Jesus was God. So, the thing is that, they'll continue to claim it because they don't even care. They don't even believe in God. It's all about control. And the thing is, they're promoting a false Jesus. So as long as it perverts basically the word of God, the thing is they can't swallow the pride, because I exposed that everything they believed in, and even their parents and their whole family, everything they believed in was just gross ignorance, by the way. So it's a prideful evil. Mostly why they're attacking me, and because they'll be exposed as being evil. So they basically practice evil, know they practice evil, and basically parade themselves as these good people, from the churchians to the police or whatever. And now I'm not against law enforcement, so I got that harassment because I basically spoke against police assaulting me. One of the wives, who basically went on terrorized me. I spoke against her, terrorized me. So she basically flipped it backwards or whatever. Falsely accused me of terrorizing the neighborhood when she's basically coming to my place to terrorize me. I didn't terrorize the neighborhood. That was actually her. Okay, flipping it backwards. Using my abuser to try to get him to abuse me, by the way. Police were using her. She is a prostitute, by the way. She is a drug addict. And she disgustingly even said that God blesses pedophiles when I sat there and spoke against her, because she was basically attacking me online, on my page, abusing me, slandering me, make up all things that falsely claiming I said things I did not say. And then she was basically using terms that atheists use, and I've called her out as an atheist, attacking me for me being a Christian. And so they're basically pretending that they're all Christian and everything, except they're pretending that they're Catholic. And I'm like, Catholics aren't Christian. And so she basically made that up, because I don't know, claimed related to basically being raised in it or whatever. Never went to church. I mean, I wish I never went to church, because that's not the problem. Not going to church is not the problem. I rejected everything that I was raised on, because they were evil pigs like these people are. So the thing is why? Because God protected me from conforming to them. That's why. So there's a lot of ungodly jealousy. And the thing is, I basically, being tortured for 20 years in Vineland. So I was a victim of abusive cult abuse before that, but in Vineland for about 20 years by police and churches. So they deliberately imprisoned me to my rapist, to torture me and mock me. What did they attack me for? Bringing knowledge, submissively and kindly, by the way. But they couldn't handle being wrong. Why? Because a fool can't handle correction. That's why. So the thing is that, they destroyed my children, by the way. They destroyed them so they wouldn't be witnesses against their kidnapping. So they covered up the kidnapping of my children by a call and said they were all communities of faith. And said that everything that all their churches do is the will of God. This is what they did. So all the heinous crimes that they're committing against me, they claim is the will of God. And, claim I'm not of the will of God for speaking against them. What am I speaking against? Oh, the will of God and righteousness and laws of justice. Well, that comes from God against them. So concerning the atheists, well, the churchians are just like atheists. So the thing is, I'm going to make another part in regards to the harassment, specifically by Lieutenant Landy, harassment and bullying, and the ignorance that I actually had to endure. And it claims that, they claim that he's basically has a high IQ. Well, when a moron sits there and says to me, why aren't there any fish fossils? What does it say? Why aren't there any, if there was a flood, why aren't there fish fossils in Egypt? I'm going to emphasize more on that. That was a very stupid question, by the way. And actually there was. But I'm actually going to go do a video about that, but I'm going to end this one with that. And, I'm sorry. The thing is, I've only dealt with ignorance regarding, Lieutenant Landy, who actually, tell me to call back just about on a daily basis, just to sit there, set me up, harass me and slander me and make up lies about me, and get liars surrounding him or whatever, so they can all be false witnesses against me to bully me or whatever, because of my knowledge, that comes from God, and because, I'm lawfully righteous.